5 minutes on the clock. Jan-Krzysztof Duda will be playing with black, gets 4 minutes, and Jan-Krzysztof will be having draw odds. And there is no time bonus, no increment per move. What you see on the clock is what you get.
And she got a very funny name. It's called the Fort Knox defense, based on the establishment over in America where you can't break in, break out. Black setup is supposed to be like that Fort Knox, unpregnable. You can't get through it. But this was also a little bit better for white. But Jan-Krzysztof is just saying, "You will not enter, not into my Fort Knox, young man." And the knight goes in, so he's trying to make complications straight away. And you've got to take that knight with the pawn. As Ivanka said, the time in this, white gets a bit more time, but white must win. If it's a draw, Jan-Krzysztof goes through to the next round, and they don't get any added time. Most of the Armageddon games, Ivanka, have really been decided on the clock, I feel.
They absolutely have. It's an important thing to consider. And there we see Gukesh just moving his queen to the center, just protecting that white pawn in the middle of the board. And he's going to get ready to line up that rook on an open line and then develop the dark squared bishop. And, well, Duda just taking some time out to castle, and sure enough, the rook finds itself on an open line.
A bit of an uncomfortable position for Jan-Krzysztof, I feel. He tries with his last move to make some exchanges, but this is very risky because white can now introduce a pawn into the attack. The problem with black's position is it's very cramped. That white pawn in the center of the board is gaining a lot of space with white. White's bishop looks very nice in the middle of the board as well, and white's pieces in general just need to be more active here.
You almost feel that white could be really bold and go bishop takes pawn, but okay, that wasn't tactically working, but it was close. And now Gukesh pushing back that black bishop and developing his own piece. And you're right there, Simon. There's just no way for black to untangle.
Yes, and this is a problem with black. Black's queen is also in a very bad square lined up against the rook. So look at the queen. It has to go to a passive square. And can white now increase the pressure? He just uses the open line. The open line is in the middle of the board. What pieces are best on the open line? The rooks. So he's going to try to get in rooks there, but he's got some other options here. He can now try to exchange off bishops, white can, and I think I would go for that move. Play the bishop to a square where it tries to exchange itself off for black's bishop, because then you get access with your knight to the king side. But okay, he's not doing that. He's bringing his rook over.
He's bringing his rook over, and does feel that white is making a very dangerous attack there on the king side.
Plays it now. The bishop's come off.
Yeah, and the rook is going to swing over the queen. The black queen is far away from the defense. This is looking really dangerous, almost, I would say, unsurvivable.
Yeah, and you can see the white knight is now getting ready to come in there, and this is really dangerous. The black king just has a lot of holes around it. You have this pawn which has made some weaknesses in front of the black king, and white now with the last move is going to try and get rid of black's knight, because this is the only good piece that black has. Why not grab a pawn? In a bad position, you might as well grab a pawn. So Jan-Krzysztof has now gone one pawn up, and I think that was a wise decision there.
I agree with that decision, but I don't think it was necessarily that wise, because the black king is going to suffer some consequences. And here comes step one. The queen is getting ready to shift herself on the dark squares and then start attacking the king. And once a knight and a queen start sniffing around the king, it is going to be all sorts of trouble.
Oh, this looks really dangerous for black. You might even be able to push
the board.
Yeah, we love pushing the board. He's thinking about it. I think Gukesh is thinking about, oh no, he plays a calmer move first. This is also a great move because he wants to move the pawn next to the rook 2 squares, and he does. This is his whole point, to get rid of the black knight, and now the white knight can come in, but this has changed. The evaluation bar actually saying, well, black might be able to defend this.
Well, there were some kind of downsides to this whole operation. The knight now can jump to the f5 square, and the queen is now within touching distance of her king. Is it now time to initiate trades? Yes. Jan-Krzysztof Duda does that. Wow.
Brave play from Jan-Krzysztof. He grabbed that pawn, and he's now trying to exchange some pieces off the board, and he does have that extra pawn. That was really wise to take that one, and if white can't break through, this is looking good for Jan-Krzysztof. The evaluation bar for the first time really in Black's favour now.
Yeah, I have to say, Black's king is still pretty shaky, but take a look at White's king. White's king is not that safe either. So this might be the downside to Gukesh's play, because he can't necessarily involve all his pieces in the attack if he has to keep an eye on his own king.
Yeah, and you can see now that Black can at some point even try to grab another pawn if possible here. They've got to play quicker here. 1 minute 40 versus 1 minute 55. And Gukesh now aiming to get an attack in, but Jan-Krzysztof comes in with a very scary idea. There's an idea of checkmate here. The Black Queen is threatening to move into the corner, giving checkmate. Can White defend this?
Well, you're going to have to offer trade up of queens. That's the only move that I can see. You can take the pawn with check and then just retreat the queens and say, let's go into an in-game.
But then it's a draw because the knight can just go backwards and forwards, and a draw is all that Jan-Krzysztof needs here. I think it's a draw, is that right? If I calculate that correctly, let's just remind everyone, if Black doesn't need to win this game. Black only needs a draw to progress, and I can't see any way that Gukesh can keep this game going.
Yeah, you're right there, Simon. The Black Knight is just simply going to go backwards and forwards, and remember, Gukesh is in a must-win situation. And there we saw Duda looking to the side.
And he gives up. He gives up. He realises there's no way he can either stop checkmate there or a draw, and both the same really, because that means Jan-Krzysztof does progress. It was looking so